Welcome to episode 9.
Hi, I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Ray.
And this is Bangable, the podcast, where we talk brains, beauty, and balls, the ultimate guide to being truly bangable.
Just a quick disclaimer before we get to the good stuff. Our podcast is recommended for,
let's say, 16 and up.
Because we can't be ladies 100% of the time.
Or really 50% of the time.
So there will be occasional drinking, cursing, and sexy talk.
You've been warned.
I don't know why I fucked up on that one. I was like, what's the second bad thing that you've always done?
Because it's been a while since we recorded.
Oh, it's so good to have you back from New York.
Oh, it's so good to be back.
I've been so lost.
It was a lot. I mean, it was such a good time, but it's definitely, people don't believe that I'm actually an introvert at heart. Even because I'm so extrovert, like not shy, but I really like being alone in my alone time, and there's a lot of people, a lot of time.
I'm the same way, where I love to be out in a big group of people, especially in the industry when I'm bartending. I love being in that scene, but afterwards I almost need like a social hangover. Like I need a day or two to myself to decompress and not have to talk to anybody.
Yes, and I mean, because especially there's 40, 50 people, and then like you're all day together, then you go out to dinner together, and then you just pass out, and then you're doing it all again, and you're so vulnerable through all of it that it's so good but so tiring. And then I came back and just haven't stopped. There's just no stopping.
We sleep when we're dead.
Yes, maybe not even then.
So you came back just in time for the Oscars.
I didn't watch it.
I didn't either. I was trying to watch it, but I didn't have any of the necessary subscriptions.
Yeah.
And there wasn't like a download anywhere. But I did go back today and figure out everyone that won, and I was more interested in like the fashion.
Well, I'm always interested in the fashion. I feel like the Oscars has such boring speeches that I don't want to listen to. I just like the clothes.
I've never really been one of those people that likes to watch the whole thing, like Grammys, Oscars, or whatever, but I do like to see what people are wearing, so to see like the fashion. And I know you did the same thing.
Oh, of course, yeah. That's what, like, I like to watch the after shows that talks about the fashion.
Exactly.
And not actually
it's like
the
the Cliff Notes.
Yes, totally Cliff Notes.
But
like who was wearing what, who did what, who looked really bad.
Because you know all the like the main like exciting things. If there's anything like spectacular out of the ordinary, everyone talks about it the next day.
And I mean, Joan Rivers is no longer with us, and she was always my favorite to watch. Even though I didn't agree with half of what she said, but I still like
people are entertaining. Like
she was like our fashion person. Well, she was the fashion police.
I completely forgot about that show, The Fashion Police. That needs to come back. I don't know if it's still a thing. So the one thing I did notice, not that I'm an expert on fashion or anything, but I always looked forward to those people that went above and beyond, like artistic wise almost, like to make a statement. And I felt like all the gowns and even the guys were so boring this year.
It was just really missed the mark.
I think what we were saying was I was saying not enough people took risks, and I
said that they took the risks, they just went the wrong way.
They took the wrong risks.
For sure, because it was just like bad cutouts, bad fabrics and patterns and boring silhouettes, or just really weird silhouettes. And
I thought, there was so much potential, and you feel like these people have so much money and they have so much access to these designers that they are using, but it was just, there was nothing that was like, oh my goodness, that was gorgeous.
Well, yeah, it's just all the styles were pretty boring right now.
A lot of them look like bridesmaid dresses.
Really did.
Like, you always see bridesmaid dresses and you're like, oh, well, they didn't get to pick them out. No, you spent a ton of money on a dress that looks like a bridesmaid dress.
Well, I mean, these are all these are like sponsored dresses, but it's like you would think that your stylist would have picked better, or you would have picked better, or somebody would have picked some better shit.
Yeah,
it just was weird. Yeah. There was a few that I really loved that I feel like a lot of it looked super casual for the Oscars.
And like I said, I'm not very knowledgeable as far as that goes. Aren't the Oscars like some of the biggest?
Well, I think of that as like the elegant, that's why like tuxedos and things like that, not just like, a lot of them were really like casual looking gowns.
Yeah, I wasn't
Some
impressed at all.
worked.
I was saying that if I was famous and I was going to go to the Oscars or anything, I would be like top notch. Like Lady Gaga, when she first came out, like over the top, like that neat dress. Did she wear that to an award show or was that during a
Yeah, but
music video?
I mean,
that's too much. But there was like a happy medium. Like I would be like, I have so much money and I'm going to be seen. Like I want to be in a gown that's going to stand out, but in the right way.
Yeah, I mean, I think before for her, it was so much of a just shocking, let me make my name and put my mark on it. And now I really believe that she's, in her age, has come more in touch with herself and doesn't feel the need to...
Well, I think she did it and it got her to where she needed to be and then she toned it down a little bit. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that's the biggest trend with most things in beauty. That's one thing we talked about in New York, you know, it's like everything is about heroizing the individual, you know, about being yourself, just being wear what you truly love, wear what you feel looks good, just be yourself. Because of the world exposure that we have, that we can see the frauds so quickly, you know, because everybody's so overexposed. So the more you can be yourself, the more you're going to win and grow.
Yeah, like without censorship.
Yeah, because I mean, you don't have to necessarily do that anymore. I mean, some of it's good for shock value. Who's that one artist who wears like the crazy wig, Sia? Yeah, so that that people don't know who she is. I actually love that.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's why she...
Yeah, so that she can go out in public without it.
Oh, and just do whatever she wants.
Yes, and not be, like, mauled by people, so she always is, so it hides her face.
I'm telling you, Tiffany and I are fully on the wakeboard. We're on...
We're on the wakeboard for that?
The wakeboard. Like
the wakeboard. Oh,
what I
hell
should
yeah.
have said is, we're on board with the wigs.
Yes. Oh, I love wigs so much.
Lady Gaga didn't go all out this year, but I have her on our best dress list. So Lady Gaga wore this gorgeous black gown that just had a little bit of a hip flare. I actually have a picture. So her hips, it was like a
boning in it, like
almost like a hip boning. Yeah,
bone.
so it was just a little bit edgy. But she did wear a necklace from Tiffany's that the only other person, or the last notable person to wear this necklace, was Audrey Hepburn, which that alone made a statement. She didn't need a big bold dress.
Well, the dress was still very Audrey Hepburn. The line of it, I feel like it was very Breakfast at Tiffany's.
I think you think that's where she
clean cut
pulled inspiration from that, because she has the gloves and then she has this black gown with just a little bit of edge. We said the popped out hip bones, and it actually just made all focus on the necklace.
It's very old Hollywood, and then with the extra boning in the hips made it more relevant to today, but it's still very classic, clean cut.
I think she killed it.
Look. I think she looks great.
The other one is actually a guy, and I think has the best gown besides Lady Gaga, to be honest with you.
I love that he did it. I think he looks ridiculous, but I love
Billy
it.
Porter wore a gown, but has a tuxedo top, but
with
black
a full ball gown. What is he from?
I'm not very sure what he's from.
Google it.
But he killed it, because in all of his pictures, like, he is owning it. Like, you would think he was in like the nicest tuxedo, and then you'd pan out and it's like this guy's wearing a dress and he's killing it more than any other woman on the red carpet.
Because the cut of it was so nice, and he's definitely smizing through all of it.
Oh, smizing for sure. Some Tyra Banks smize.
Oh, he's a stage performer.
Oh, that's why. That makes sense. If he's
he's Kinky Boots.
I'm not very good with names of actors or songs or movies or anything like that. But when I feel
like I saw him on the Wendy Williams show, and yeah.
I also thought Charlize Theron looked really, really good. She's the one she had a light blue gown with an open back.
It was also very clean cut.
Right there. So she's wearing an open back with pearls and like a very light grayish blue gown, and she was just very like classically beautiful.
I like her dark hair.
I know. I've been wanting that haircut, but I can't bring myself to cut all my hair off again.
I know, because like your hair's so pretty right now.
Couple of the year, in my opinion, it's only because I do follow them on social media and I think they're adorable, is Jason Momoa and his wife Lisa Bonet, I'm not really sure.
I think it's Bonet.
But all the guys look very nice. They're just in classic tuxes, or maybe they changed it to like a blue tux jacket. Jason Momoa wore this, like, what would you call that color? Like a rosy, dull pink, a dusty rose, almost like velvet. And it just goes. And then his wife wore a matching colored dress, almost with scales, like Aquaman.
Like netting, kind of.
Like, if her husband wasn't Aquaman, I would say the dress was a fail, but it goes so well together with like what their brand is right now that it's adorable.
Like, and I don't love guys with long hair.
I love Jason Momoa,
but he's quite hot.
I don't know what he drank as a kid or where he came from, but I want to find out.
Can we give all the boys it?
I don't know what they put in his water as a kid.
Just pass it out. So for our worst dress, there was a lot of pinks in there, and I'm a girl who loves pinks. I pretty much wear pink, purple, and blue as my favorite colors. Oh, and yellow.
I love yellow too. That's my favorite color.
I'm just a bright ass bitch. I don't wear a lot of black, even though I'm wearing black today. But I was teaching.
You're a bright ass bitch.
Yeah, I'm like neon yellow all day.
But the pinks, you're right. I saw a lot of pinks, and I don't ever wear pink. It's definitely not my color, nor do I like it. But this year, a lot of people wore the same like bright pink, and not very many people can pull that off to begin with.
It was a very corally, like it felt like it led more to the orange pinks versus a lot of blue pinks, which I think are a little softer and more elegant. But yeah, I mean, they're pretty. I think just the boldness of the color with the poor cuts is what really killed it.
And you're better with color from your artistic background and hairstyling background, but I feel like people need to take into, I'm sure they do, these are huge fashion designers.
Yeah.
But I feel like you have to take in consideration that you're being photographed on a red carpet. So if the pink clashes with that red, I feel like that throws it off too.
Yeah, and I just don't know who sent out this pink memo.
So the picture that Tiffany and I are looking at right now is Sarah Paulson, who's just in this hideous bright pink dress with the most horrible cut I've ever seen.
Yeah, and then there's Linda Cardellini, who is a ruffle pink monster. Who, I mean, like, it really, like, if you think of, I don't even know how to, like, a duster.
Oh, like a feather duster.
Yes, a feather duster blown up into a pink robe with her black, boring shoes. And maybe if she put some better shoes with it, it just did not work at all for me. And it's really weird for me to like bitch about these ruffles when I just made a whole ruffle dress. You know, a ruffle paper dress. And yet I'm like, look at all these ruffles here. And I'm like, oh wait, look at all those ruffles over there.
Just to, I don't think a lot of people know exactly how creative you are, so I'm excited for people to see when you're done creating this costume for a competition. Tiffany's making 2 costumes for this hair competition.
I think we just add a third now.
Now
kind of, sort of, because...
But she's literally crafting these costumes from nothing. She's making everything by hand, and I can't wait for everyone to see them.
It's going to be really good. If you were on my Instagram yesterday, you got a sneak peek of what I did. And I mean, I'll tell you, but you can't see it until I release the photos again.
I think you should just keep them waiting.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, that's fine. No, I'm excited about it.
Go ahead,
well, I'm not going to tell them exactly what it is, but I made a paper mache dress that one of my friends will be wearing for a photo shoot. And then I have another paper mache outfit I'm making for Ray. I'm lucky enough to be in a one-of-a-kind Tiffany original for a photo shoot for a hair competition that she's definitely going to win. I just want to get the photos in there, not worry about winning. I just want to create these looks. It's for the Behind the Chair One Shot Awards, which is quickly becoming like the Grammys or the Oscars. Well, actually, I would say the Oscars is the NAHA, North American Hairdressing Awards, and then this would be the Grammys. So you went to the Big Apple, and the Big Apple. Yes, New York was really good. It was nice and cold, It was a 5-day training. It feels like such a blur because it was so much learning and so much seeing old friends, meeting new friends, connecting. I don't want to call it networking because it wasn't really I feel like networking has a negative connotation. Well, it's so weird when you go and get to be with people from around the United States that all believe the same things you do and have the same goals in mind and have the same passions and are all really creative, quirky people who don't judge others and have a really high sense of creativeness and professionalism, but don't take themselves seriously. It's
it sounds like a good group. It's good energy.
It's so good. It's such a family. It's like these people. A lot of these people I only saw one time 2 years ago when we did this, and they feel like family. I was so excited to see them.
That's something after, and it's all Evo, right?
It's all Evo. It's the 40. This was the North America East Coast educator training. So there's 150 educators worldwide. So they did East Coast, West Coast, and then now they're in London.
I feel like I have to give props as far as my marketing and advertising background, because I don't know very much about the products or the hair, but I have to give it to Evo because all of their products, their branding is genius and very current, up to date society-wise.
Yeah.
But then obviously, with that group of people, they know how to hire based on their brand, and it's obviously gone well because you have people with the same energy, the same outlook on life. It's going to translate into your brand.
Well, the smart thing about Evo that does the same thing that I very much believe is we don't sell products. We do sell products, but what we really do is explain the why of the company, because that is so much more important than please purchase the products. The things that the company stands for, they really stand for, they really believe in. They're a company that is filled with so much integrity to do what's right for the country, the environment, to really put the craft of hairdressing back into a product line, to give stylists the freedoms and the techniques and the knowledge and talent and everything else, and just give back to the community, to constantly be innovative and make the best products out there so you don't have to limit your creativity based on products that people are just trying to shove down your throat, or what the beauty industry is telling you that you're not good enough unless you do this. It's a playful, these are some funny people.
And you can tell, because I wish I had one of the bottles on me. I know Tiffany has a ton in the other room, but one thing I do like about the bottles is that the description even on the front of each bottle is hysterical.
Well, that's the whole thing. Because we don't sell shit, and everything that Evo does is meant to create a conversation about it. So one of the bottles I have memorized is actually one of my favorites, the Gluttony Conditioner.
The Gluttony Conditioner.
I think it's a gluttony conditioner. It says, who ate all the pies? Who ate all the pies? Your hair ate all the pies because it's a fat bastard. So it's not like we have these all pooey conditioners that are going to do these magical things,
it's
and
different.
Then the rainbow pea is in it, and you're going to, be able to have this hair that grows 6 times as fast and is healthier and shinier because of the rainbow pea. It's not that it's here, this is what it does. It's a great conditioner. We're not going to solve all your problems. We're not going to get you boyfriends. We're not going to get you jobs, but we will put some volume in your hair.
Yeah.
It's very simple, but it all works so well, and it really has, definitely being with these people has expanded my abilities and my knowledge and my talent and my drive, and the number of things that it has done for me. Funny story, so the first day, they make us do a lot of impromptu presentations, and so the first day they wanted us to do our introduction of why we chose to work with Evo and about the 4 pillars, which is what I was just telling you about, the 4 pillars. And I was one of the first people they picked because I made the mistake of walking up to them during lunch, and then he's like, Jay, who's one of our heads, was like, here, Tiffany, you can do a speech. I'm like, but I just walked up to say something. He's like, yeah. He's like, no, we just want people who've been here to do it. And like, this is actually so much harder for me than any cutting class or product knowledge or
even put on the spot.
Well, no, it's just because like I'm such a freaking fangirl that the whole time I didn't want to go up there and like fangirl out, cry, and be like, I just love the company so much. I'm just so happy to be here, and just like bawl out.
I'm just so happy to be
like,
here.
And just be like the dorkiest nerd up there, be like, and then cry. Like I'm like, okay, don't cry. Look, I'm about to cry right now, talking about how much I love the company. And it's like it's so amazing because like you go.
That is passion.
And it's just like, but you know, it's like so we're with 50 people who all feel that way, or if they didn't when they first walked in because they were newer, by the end, you know, it's like to watch the personalities that came out.
And that's also, it's all about what we talk about a lot is energy. You get people with the same similar energy, and it is just, it pumps you up, man.
You gotta find your tribe, and it's like.
So what did you do your first presentation on?
Oh, that was on Evo, why Evo, and why the 4 pillars of the company. One of the last days, we had to do a second, more fun presentation. And so they picked me on a day that I was extremely hungover because I drank a third of a bottle of tequila, then went out to dinner and had a margarita. Then I decided to have a whole pitcher of margaritas by myself. Gave a fake glass to somebody else. This is why we're best friends. Yeah. And then I had slid a bottle of wine. And yeah.
It's the wine, and you can't mix tequila. You're fine if you drink tequila, but don't mix it with wine.
I think it was just the sheer amount of alcohol in my system the next day. I was like having hyperglycemic like shakes, and I was like super cold, and like I took the blowfish, and like the blowfish helped, but I still was having like low blood sugar.
So I will just side note this: blowfish is the only hangover relief that has ever worked. I've been in industry, the bar industry, for 7 years. Nothing works as good as blowfish.
Yeah. And I was like telling people about it, and I had a couple, and they're like, "Oh, do you have some?" Like, no,
not for you.
No, like I'm like I had enough just for me.
Go to CVS. Like, you can get it at CVS in the pain relief aisle.
Oh, really? Because I couldn't find it.
Amazon and CVS, you can find the pain relief aisle. This is not a paid advertisement.
No, we just actually believe in this.
It's amazing product. No. But okay.
Oh yeah, so they had me do a presentation, and the presentation made you get up on stage, and then as soon as you got up there, they gave you some random topic that you had 15 seconds to come up with a 1-minute informative speech. So I get up there, and Jules gives me belly button fluff.
Is belly button fluff?
That's exactly what I'm like, what? Say what? He goes, you know, the stuff you get inside your belly button. I'm like,
so it is just basically to teach you how to think on your feet and bullshit.
Yeah.
Razzle dazzle bullshit.
Yeah.
That's my favorite word. If I don't know sales, razzle dazzle bullshit. Belly button fluff. Okay, Tiffany, so let's see.
So this is what, you know, because they all know me as Tips from Tiff. So they're like, yay, Tips from Tiff. I'm like, okay, so we'll bring this back to Tips from Tiff. You know, like some people have small belly buttons that you can just kind of dust some things out, but other people have quite large and deep belly buttons that really collect stuff, and then sometimes it gets moist in there. You might need some medicine, you know. So, but your tips from Tiff today is whatever you pull out of your belly button, don't smell it.
That is a great tip from Tiff.
Yep, and that's it. For more tips from Tiff, you can listen to Bangable the podcast, now available on Spotify.
Boom.
And it's like, done. They're like, how did you even drop your podcast in there? I'm like, but it just rolls off the tongue. Like, why not close it with that shit?
And boom goes the dynamite.
So it was good. It's like, so that was my last presentation. And then on the last day, she wanted me to do a presentation again. Just, we went out to dinner or drinks. Our company is Australian. They are alcohol friendly. We'll just say it that way. So we went out our last night together, and they wanted us to have a really, really good time. I had 9 tequilas on the rocks that night. I didn't eat dinner, but I was still really good because I've had so much tequila in my system throughout the whole week. But they really wanted to see how you acted the next day. how everybody looked, who showed up on time. I mean, these people were out to
that was a master test.
Because they say, you know, especially in this industry and with the company, the owners of the company, that they can really party hard, but the next day you would never know it.
That's similar to how it is in the bar and the restaurant industry, where they want all of us working to have a great time. So they say, you know, take some shots. They give you the liberty to be able to drink, but you're supposed to have the responsibility and the self-control to control yourself, have a good time, and then be able to be an adult, wake up the next day, show up to work, and do your job the right way again.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's just, that's part of being an adult. You have to learn how to have fun and moderation and still be able to do your job on point while still catering to your
because we're a
clients.
social industry, like we're both in social industry, so like drinking is a part of it.
That's just how it is now.
I will have to tell you, okay, so this is one of my favorite things that they gave me, and I got it 2 years ago too, but my education folder comes with a USB drive that has all the education on it, and the USB drive is a bottle opener.
Okay, that's awesome.
Like they're alcohol friendly. You know, they're friendly to alcohol. They're also Australian, so they can drink, and they're so funny. And to say that I got to train with the most talented artists I have ever come across in my life is an understatement. And their abilities to break things down so that you can understand the details of what you're doing that really changes everything that you know. I remember last year I got to do a mentor day with Jules Tomini, who's last year was Educator of the Year, just got nominated again for Educator of the Year for Australia. And I'm a good cutter, like I can cut hair, but I didn't understand the complete details the way he explains them. And just, I mean, the differences that can happen by the direction you hold the shears, whether you're cutting in or out of the hair, if you're cutting down the hair shaft, up the hair shaft, what portion of it can create different things so that you can really cut your style and your products into a haircut, and then the products just add more. Instead of having to look for your products to do everything you need it to do, you can actually cut that into the hair, and then the products have an easier job.
That makes sense. I think that's how it should be.
Yeah, but they don't teach that. They teach like so if you was like
Evo teaches it, but other companies,
well, even like, you know, other companies, which, you know, like, because we don't take ourselves seriously. We're rock stars, but we don't have that attitude. Like, nobody's better than anybody. You're here to be a family. It's welcoming. Where a lot of people, a lot of other companies will break you down. They're rock stars. You can't touch them. You know, they have all these like crazy flares and crazy things that they do, and they teach you haircuts that you're never going to be able to use. It's like, and we used to teach a lot of those types of haircuts that were very like more directional to the fashion industry and things like that, but not as relatable to the salon,
like everyday life.
Yeah, and it's like, and this time, you know, we spent 6 hours on a regular like long-haired haircut and learned the finite details that would change that haircut into 18 different ways. Doing the same exact haircut just will change it dramatically because you know the little details. We did that with styling. We did that with color. There's a new color coming out called Stano. It's so exciting. The reason I'm so excited about this is that fashion colors, anybody who's had like pink or purple or any of those fashion colors in your hair, except for your blue, can we side note? Well, no, actually you'll love this. Okay, you'll love this. Because, well, Ray, when she wasn't hanging out with me, during a hurricane,
I was locked in a house for almost 3 days with no power because of a hurricane, and one of my friends happened to have a blue hair dye styling kit. I decided to try on my own hair, which I've regretted
ever since. Now.
And finally, this has been over a year, and I just got that streak out of my hair.
Yeah. So it's like, don't do your hair yourself. But like most fashion colors, well, and yours was green because blue's probably the hardest color to get out because the color molecule is so small that it just really jam-packs in there and doesn't want to come out. I like
fashion colors. When I decided to do my first fashion color, I chopped off all of my hair. I mean, it was almost past my boobs, and I cut it off to my chin, had Tiffany keep my black roots. I dyed it every different color, blue and green, like 7 different colors. This is before Kylie Jenner did it, by the way.
Yes.
This was pre-Kylie Jenner, and then like a couple weeks later she did it, and then everybody had it, and then I ended up taking it out because then everybody had it.
How long did those fashion colors last? Before they
my fashion colors, I had to have Tiffany redo my hair almost every 3 weeks.
Yes. So most fashion and stain colors are meant to last in your hair about 6 to 8 shampoos before you really need to get it done again. Stano, which is coming out, will last up to 50. 50.
So
50.
I might be going back to my fashion colors. Oh my god, my eyes just glow. Oh my goodness.
50, and then on top of that we have Fabuloso Pro, which is an at-home conditioner, color-based conditioner, so I can mix the custom color with the Stano so that even though it will wash out in 50 shampoos, you can just keep it in there for as long as you want.
So you just condition your hair
and then it deposits more color onto there and keeps it bright and vibrant as if you just left the salon. I've always had the Fabuloso Pro for regular hair colors that are like a natural color palette, but I've never had it for something like this. And the shine that comes with Stano and the condition of it, it's unlike anything I've ever seen in a fashion color.
So, depending on whether or not my job will let me do it, maybe Tiffany will do a
I think we should do oil slick.
An oil slick?
Oil slick, because it's all really dark, and then so you just kind of get those highlight colors, so like the top of the oil slick that turns like that purple, blue, green.
Yeah.
So it's like, so it just looks like dark hair, but then you'll get all that color hidden in there. Oh yeah.
Oh, I asked her this. Can you do that? She can do anything.
Do you know how to do that?
So let's do it. I'm down with it.
We can do that. Yeah.
When?
I'll go look at my book. Be right back.
So I understand that Robert Kraft was caught soliciting, which isn't exactly right, but what makes the issue worse is that he was caught in the state of Florida, which is one of the worst states for sex trafficking, and because of this, the media has taken advantage, which makes it a harsher issue.
I mean, so, now that I've started reading on it, I really I actually disagree with you.
So originally,
from what I'm reading.
Originally, I was thinking that Kraft was in no way involved in sexual trafficking, but because he has such an impact, his name is so big, he's the owner of the Patriots, the media has taken advantage of the attention to use it as a platform to talk about sex trafficking. And I just, as a journalist and talking about journalistic integrity and ethics, I think that although sex trafficking is something that definitely needs more attention and needs to be talked about, I don't believe it's necessarily fair or ethical to use Robert Kraft's name as a media attention grabber to do so, or use it as a platform to talk about sex trafficking. So now his name is being attached to this horrific problem that I want to say he technically didn't really have anything to do with, but he might have, because that's why they had the prostitution sting.
Well, that's what I was just reading. It is showing that he was a regular customer.
So because of that, it could be a larger issue, which is why he is possibly facing a year of jail time. But my whole issue with this, and I have a large issue with sex trafficking.
Yeah.
But I believe that until the facts are clear, until everything in this criminal investigation is clear, I don't believe the media should be attaching the issue of sex trafficking to Robert Kraft's name. That's the only issue I have. Yes.
But I think you do that with everything.
I think, yes, there is a legal issue that he did hire a prostitute. He did exchange money for sexual favors, and that could be attached to his name, which already is. I believe, though, until the facts are clear, until everything has been gathered, we should not be attaching Robert Kraft to sex trafficking. I don't think that's ethically correct, because you can't go backwards. You can't go, Robert Kraft involved in a sex trafficking sting. You can't get rid of that. That is always going to forever be attached to his name, whether or not it's actually factual that it's the truth.
But I think we do that with almost any crime that goes into the news. I think that is essentially journalism and sensational journalism that happens today, which is why I don't watch the news. You know, because whether it's the sex trafficking or murder or like school shooting. I mean, until all of it is until you're innocent until proven guilty. But in the media, it's guilty until proven innocent.
The media has
and I would say that. I mean, but I feel like that's all of journalism, because right now they're just doing attention grabbers.
It is attention grabbers, and they do say the police department in, I think it's Palm Beach County, Florida.
Yeah.
The police department is saying we're not going to treat Robert Kraft any differently than the other 24 people involved.
Yeah, but I don't
in
think
this
it's the police department doing it. I think it's Fox News, it's
well, the
USA
police department
Today.
did hand over all the files to the media.
Yeah, but
and videos, which
that's
is
available.
Fine. Yeah, which is fine. But I think that they're saying we're not going to treat him any differently than the other 24 people caught in the sting. But at the end of the day, because he is such a large name,
there's been a lot of people who got arrested in this that have larger names too.
So I guess this is just something we're going to follow, and it's something everybody is talking about. It's not stupid. It's a very large issue. I think it was stupidity, and it's just something we're going to have to keep a track on and see what's going on. I don't think that it...
This was just a couple days ago.
Yeah, it was just a couple days ago. So, and they were saying, how is Robert Kraft handling this? Well, he was actually just filmed leaving an Oscar party. So he's not taking it, I don't want to say he's not taking it seriously because I have no idea what's going on in Robert Kraft's head. But at the end of the day, it is going to create a platform to talk about this stuff, which I think is important. But until all the facts are out, I don't believe that we should attach sex trafficking to Robert Kraft's name. Or anybody's name that was involved in the sting, although it is an issue that needs to be discussed.
Oh, I feel like put them all in there. I feel the complete opposite of you. I'm like, put all these fuckers on blast. Pardon my language.
No, it's fine.
But no, because like from what I'm reading, like this is a month-long studies, and they're showing a lot of people who are influential and have billions of dollars going to this little tiny place in Jupiter.
And there's a reason why.
Because it's a sex trafficking ring where you can get little young Asian girls who have to do things nonstop. And like, yeah.
See, in that case, that's what I'm saying. I want all the facts before I make a judgment. I want all the facts. And I definitely think that sex trafficking needs way more attention. Like I said before,
because it's so sad.
Especially in Florida, it's such a huge area for it. And Orlando especially, the Target right here near where I live, 2 miles from where I live, I'm not able to go to my Target anymore because 5 girls in the last couple months have gone missing because sex trafficking and sex traffic workers are targeting young white women that are leaving Target and actually coming in behind their cars with their van, and while they're trying to get into their cars are snatching them.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen 5 of these UCF college students, and I think it's terrible. So
that's what one of the girls that I was training with, we actually, it's so weird, maybe this is why we had that conversation. I probably hopped in half of it, or they talked about sports and I blanked out. But we're talking about this getting kidnapped for sex trafficking because, you know, as educators, we travel a lot. I do pretty much up and down the state. And it's like she stopped at a rest stop in, I think it was in Ohio or something, and she saw a bunch of cars there. But then when she went in, then there was like nobody else there and a man behind her. And she luckily made it out, like she was really freaked out and made it out, and then saw that all the cars were actually just like U-Hauls. Like, there was a ton of U-Hauls there and no people.
Yeah.
So, but, yeah. So, but anyways, funny, sleeping. But, yeah. No, I mean, it's crazy.
I just want to make sure that, like, our listeners do understand. We take this very seriously, but I'm trying to be the devil's advocate. I'm not saying it's right in any way, shape, or form. I just think that everybody should not just take the media headlines as they are. I think everyone needs to do a little bit of research. I think instead of just saying, oh my goodness, did you hear that Robert Kraft was involved in sex trafficking? I think I'm just encouraging people to look further into the details of the story.
Before they judge.
Judge him all you want. He's a dirty old man that really likes his prostitutes. Judge him for that. Yeah. But I think that you need to look into the facts and understand everything that's going on in the case, everybody that's involved, before attaching a label to somebody's name.
Yeah.
But by all means, yeah, he's a dirty old man that loves hookers.
No.
That's enough. That's degrading enough, I feel like. But yeah, just wait until everything comes out. Everything is still in a criminal investigation. That's why the NFL is waiting. And they said they will prosecute and they will deal with the owner of the Patriots just as they would anybody else in the NFL. It is in their contract, in their ethics contract, to treat everybody the same, whether it be players, coaches, owners, as far as this goes. But they also don't want to, intrude on a criminal investigation. So until that's concluded, they are not going to take action. Which is that all you can do.
Yeah. Well, anyway, speaking of sleeping around. Yes.
Speaking of sleeping around, some more little dirty gossip on this sexual extravaganza going on in the sports world. So, there is a basketball player, Tristan Thompson. He plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He was scouted. He was actually brought on to the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2011. He's been a player for them. Whoever, our listeners, our beauties, might know him better as Khloe Kardashian's boyfriend or baby daddy. So Khloe Kardashian started dating Tristan Thompson, this Cleveland Cavaliers player. She got pregnant. I think they ended up having their kid in April of last year.
Yes.
And were like an item.
Yes.
So now it has recently come out that Khloe Kardashian's younger sister, Kylie Jenner, everybody knows Kylie Jenner and her whatever she
lip
is.
Kit.
Yeah. Well, her best friend.
$1 billion.
Yeah, her lip kit. Her best friend Jordan Woods, who I will explain who she is in a little bit, but Jordan Woods was caught for around with Tristan Thompson.
Yes.
Now this is a huge deal. I say this because it is involved in basketball. He's a large basketball player.
Didn't he cheat before?
I'm not sure.
I felt like he cheated right before she had the baby also.
I think it was with Jordan Woods. It was
At that time?
Yes, it was the same girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was. That's the whole thing, is that while she was pregnant, he was screwing around with this girl, Jordan Woods. So just to give you a little backstory, Jordan Woods was a nobody that was friends with Kylie Jenner. She's a little bit of a plus-size girl. She was an aspiring model who just happened to be best friends with the most opportunistic person. So basically the Kardashians/Jenners took her under their wing. Kylie pays for everything, brings her everywhere. She travels with her. She's a larger girl that wanted to model. So Khloe Kardashian, which is the most screwed up thing of this whole thing, took on Jordan Woods as a model to be the face or one of the faces of her brand for curvier women. So not only was this girl nobody, she's now being financially supported by the Kardashian-Jenner family, is now working under Khloe, and while Khloe was pregnant and had their baby, is now sleeping with Khloe's baby daddy.
Which is crazy. The crazier thing that I've seen is that Kylie is still friends with her.
I think, and from what I've read, and by all means, I really despise the whole Kardashian-Jenner empire. I think it's the most ridiculous thing to happen to pop culture. It's disgusting, and by no means do I support them in any way. I really wanted a good lipstick. I will refuse to buy the Kylie Jenner lipstick. I think their entire family is a freaking joke.
I think it's everything that Evo pushes against.
I think
it's all that hype. Like, you have to use this lipstick and have lips like Kylie Jenner in order to be beautiful. It's like, and then you just have a bunch of clones who all have low self-esteem trying to look like one girl.
Everything that the Kardashian-Jenner brand represents, I am against. They're famous for being famous for stupid reasons, like the sex tape that got.
Okay, well, I mean, that's what they're.
But either way, they're known for their drama, so you knew something was coming. And I just think that, I don't know why also Kardashians just have such a thing for athletes. Basketball players, football players, like whatever it is. You should know as an athlete, never get involved with them unless you want a scandal. It's almost like it's a recipe for disaster.
Seriously. But I mean, yeah, you're walking into all that hype and all that.
You're walking into it. So
like,
for Tristan Thompson, who, to be honest, Tristan Thompson is not a great basketball player. He's not one of the best. He's mediocre at best as a basketball player. Walked into this drama-filled media empire of the Kardashian family, and then decides to sleep around with one of their family members' best friends. Like, what did they think was going to happen? Now, all of this is to say, and I hate feeding into this, but it is right now what's going on. It's just a disaster. It's a media sundae with a cherry on top. But he's just, like, his athletic career is going to keep going, but all the media attention is now on his screw-up of how he basically just slept around with all the, like...
Well, I mean, like, I would say for him, at least you're in the news, because otherwise nobody would talk. If it wasn't for the Kardashians, nobody would give a shit about you.
But, yeah, no, this is a huge thing going on, and it does bring in the sports world, as does most of the Kardashian bullarchy sexual rumors. But it's true. He slept around with this girl, which was the stupidest thing both of them could have done. Now Jordan Woods, you know her name now, but she is now completely cut off from the Kardashian family. They have cut her off completely. Her modeling career that should have never been there to begin with is ended. She will now forever be a nobody because of this. Also, Tristan Thompson is... Or Thompson, I did say it, Thompson.
Yeah.
Is now, what do I want to say,
Well, you know, it's like,
when someone has like a disease and you...
Sex
pariah.
Oh.
He's now pariah right now.
Well, I mean, that's the consequences of your actions kind of thing. Like, I feel like it's the same with him with, the last guy, the Kraft guy, you know, it's like, y'all being dirty men and then being mad when people are mad at you. I mean, like I said, I don't actually, this sounds very strange, I don't actually have a problem with prostitution or, like, I think cheating happens.
I think it all, I'm prostitution, whatever it is, consensuality is the main thing.
Yeah, well that's what, as long as there's consent.
Not forced consent, that is not consent.
Oh yeah, no, like actual consent.
Legitimately genuine consent, it's different. But yeah, these men, I'm totally okay with putting them on blast. You're freaking dirty, nasty individuals. My entertainment from this is the stupidity involved.
Of the family, that's synonymous with Kardashian. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
What that means?
You should know you're walking into the lion's den when you get involved with any of these women. It follows them as if it was scripted, which is 50% of it, but...
Well, yeah, that's their whole life is scripted from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to bed.
Yeah. It actually almost sickens me to be talking about this, but I can't ignore this because it is such a high media concern that has to do with entertainment and sports, so we couldn't ignore it, but... That's what I think.
That's what it's like. It's so. What my weird part is that Kylie was still hanging out with her after.
Well, I don't think she knew.
No, I mean after she found out. So it's like, I guess okay, they were partying till the wee hours, and then they were flirting, and then they hooked up. Well, I guess I don't like. Where the hell was Khloe?
That's the thing.
Like, was it while she was in that? I mean,
it was while she was pregnant too.
Yeah, it's like, this doesn't even surprise me.
It's all he said, she said, so we just figured we would touch on the topic to let you guys know exactly what is going on.
Oh, this has been fun. Right. Like, we haven't done this in so long.
Oh, I know, I missed you so much.
I missed you too.
I know, we were only gone for a week, but
I know, but it felt like a year. God.
Well, this has been episode 9 of Bangable the podcast.
We out.
Make sure you...
Okay, we're not out yet.
This has been episode 9 of Bangable the podcast. Be sure to follow us on our Instagram at Bangable the podcast.
Our Facebook at Bangable the podcast.
Our Twitter at Bangable PCast.
Find us on Spotify, soon to be iTunes.
At Bangable the podcast.
And our Gmail is bangablethepodcast@gmail.com. Yeah, that .com part too. But y'all know that. We've lost it.
I know, we've lost it. We've lost the mind. So,
we out.